Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I have here a short video, a short clip of a video of the interview Tucker Carlson conducted with Aleksandr Dugin. That's a Russian philosopher who is considered far right by these guys, being the mentor of Putin and the far right ideologue of the Russian society. I didn't know that Aleksandr Dugin's books were banned by Amazon or by United States of America or something. I found out in this video. I was aware of the video, the interview, but I didn't bother to, I didn't have time, that's the word, to watch it. But then my cousin, thank you very much, he sent it to me and said, interesting, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so I watched it. And at the minute, it's a 21-minute video clip. You can find it on Twitter, for instance. It's episode 99, Tucker Carlson. So at minute 16:12 out of the 20:58, Tucker asks a question. He plays dumb. I think he knows exactly who's who and what's what. And he coincides, his vision, his question coincides with my assessment of why Putin needs to go and who, that's the word, who did Putin upset by kicking them out, and what did Putin bring into Russia that these guys don't want Putin to continue with that. And I'm going to play this short video, as I said. Clip is going to be Tucker asking the question, Aleksandr Dugin answering. You're going to have the see caption over there on the bottom, and it looks like this. So let's see the question, Tucker, right?
So I've asked you no questions about Russia or Russian politics, and I'm not going to, because I think it's so interesting to see your perspective on countries that you don't live in, because, you know, we do gain insight, I think, from the view of outsiders. My last question to you is, how do you explain this phenomenon I have noticed where for over 70 years, a group of people in the West and the United States, liberals, effectively defended the Soviet system and Stalinism, and many personally participated in Stalinism, spied for Stalin, supported him in our media. In the year 2000, and they loved Boris Yeltsin because he was drunk, but in the year 2000, leadership of this country changed and Russia became their main enemy. So after 80 odd years of defending Russia, they hated Russia. What was that?
Well, he talks about the same group I'm talking about, the guys who were riding high in the Soviet Union. And I told you the mass media in the United States, which is owned by, covered. Even Delano Roosevelt, Franklin, called Joseph Stalin, the Georgian dictator, the Georgian communist murderer, Georgian, not Russian, he called him Uncle Joe, euphemistically, nicely, and so on. So let's see Dugin's reaction or answer.
Why the change?
I think that first of all, Putin is traditional leader. So Putin, when he came to power, from the very beginning, he started to extract our country, the Russia, from the global influence. So he started to contradict to global progressist agenda. And these people who supported Soviet Union, they were progressists. And they are now progressists. So they have felt that now they were dealing with someone who doesn't share this progressist agenda, and who tried, and with success, to restore traditional values, sovereignty of the state, Christianity, traditional family. That wasn't evident from the beginning, from outside. But when Putin insisted more and more on this traditional agenda, I would say, on the particularity and speciality of the Russian civilization as some special type of world vision that had and has now very little similarities with the progressist ideals. So I think that they have discovered, they have identified in Putin precisely what Putin is. So he is a kind of leader, political leader, defending traditional values. So only recently, 1 year ago, Putin has made decree of the political defense of traditional values. That was turning point, I would say. But observers from the progressive camp in the West, I think they have understood that from the beginning of his rule correctly. So this hatred is not just casual, something casual or some mood. It is not.
It's not casual. It's very serious.
So it's metaphysical. So if your main task and main goal is to destroy traditional value, traditional family, traditional states, traditional relations, traditional beliefs, and someone on that with the nuclear weapon, that is not smallest, the least, but the last but not least argument. Someone with nuclear weapon to stand strong, defending traditional value, you are going to abolish. I think they have some basis for this Russophobia and the hatred for Putin. So it is not just by the chance. It's not some irrational change from Sovietophilia to Russia phobia. It's something deeper, I would say. It's my guess.
It's clearly something deeper. We felt it was important for your ideas to get an airing in English in the United States, simply because we believe in the open airing of ideas. I guess we're liberals that way. So we're grateful that you took the time. Mr. Dugin, thanks.
Thank you very much.
Did you catch in, because I failed to point it out before I played the clip, in Tucker's question, I don't think it was a question, it was a statement, but he just raised the ball for Mr. Dugin to smack. When he said that they supported it and they worked for it, they were progressives. They don't call them the way they call them progressives. Why? Who are they? Remember the hated McCarthyan times? Remember the Rosenbaums? And many others who identify as communists, identified in those times. They were overrepresented by the certain people who don't like other cultures. They like their own, and they want their culture to stay intact, but everything else take a shit. So very interesting point made by Dugin and especially by Tucker. That tells me that Tucker knows exactly who's who, what's what. He was in cahoots with them, put it that way, and he didn't have a lot of chutzpah, to use another term, to expose them when he was working in the system dominated, or in an area dominated by, the same entity in a media and mass entertainment industry. And now he feels that he can say certain things a little bit more closer to the truth than before. He's not going to name names really like that, but he is really, these guys are already attacking him. When he invited that so-called far-right evangelist or whatever pastor, that was too much. When he gets in that one, it's all wrong. The nationalist Christian or something, can't have that one. Who's not Christian and who hates Christians? Who hate Christians? Atheists? I don't think so. They just want to be left alone. The guys in the Islam, they're more tolerant than the Christians, I would say, if you look at the history. Yes, I know what I'm talking about. But look at the third option, the third messianic religion, which supposedly has it's monotheistic, long after the Egyptians were and others. But hey, we're told that we have to accept that because Who's in charge writes the books, shapes the culture, media and entertainment, school, if you have people in the administration, curriculum by teachers and professors and so on. So yeah, they teach our children to hate their own traditions, values, culture, country, skin, and whatever. How? Just look around you. It's not hard to figure that out. So very interesting. And yeah, this is Aleksandr Dugin. I would like to hear him speaking in Russian, because I don't think he's, I mean, he was, how should I put it? When you use your, like for instance here, I have an, I have been speaking English for 25 years, 30 years, more than 30 years or so. Yeah, I'm old. Leave alone the fact that I started in the 6th grade. But anyway, with time, sometimes I intertwine, put together Romanian words with English words. I speak with the Romanian in English, or I speak with an American in Romanian, or I mixed words, because for me it's so, I'm so used to using it. Now, I had a lot of synonyms and vocabulary in Romanian, but if you don't use it, you're gonna lose them. In English, you have to grow your vocabulary daily, and then you have a limit. I don't have a lot of synonyms. My English is very, I would say, pointed and bare, straight to the point, and I don't get too tangled. I don't like getting tangled in little flowers and beat around the bushes or something. I don't like that. I like to be precise and direct. So I want to eliminate misunderstandings or different interpretations of what I'm saying. I want to be clear as I can. But as I evolved with my English, I realized that it's hard to express your philosophical. You need practice. You need to speak very much with others, use English, and try to put your thoughts that you have it in Romanian, put them into English. And you're not going to find synonyms. So by not finding the right synonyms or the words that you really will fit over there, you miss the point. You alter your message. For instance, if in Romanian, let's say, with people, I ask them, Romanian speaking people, let's say, I ask them, I want to explain something important. How do you want me to express it, in English or in Romanian? What would be easier for you to understand? And also for me, I feel more confident sometimes to use English than Romanian in speaking philosophically. I find if I speak Romanian right now, probably I will speak like a, I don't know, 17-year-old, 16-year-old Romanian, not even. The vocabulary shrinked because I didn't use it. So the synonyms will be the basic, rudimentary synonyms. So for Dugin, for Aleksandr Dugin, I think it's the same thing. I listened to this and I knew that he had this frustration, as I had, and I still have sometimes, when you like to, oh, welcome back. We missed you. When you want to express something, but you know that using English, you're not going to express the same, with the same depth, resonance, intensity, what you want to say. So you missed the whatever you want, and vice versa. There are certain words in English that I would like to use them somehow as a synonym in Romanian that would have the same strength, the same direct message I think the other person should get. And I use the wrong word because I don't know the right word, or certain words are not there. They miss the flavor, the depth. So I listened to this interview, and I think Aleksandr Dugin was very simple. And we assess people's intelligence mostly, by the appearance, and then when they open the mouth, by the vocabulary. That's why sometimes imbeciles, and we if we're not, at first we can be fooled by people's clear message or broken English and attribute that to that person's lack of intelligence, because baboons are barely verbal. So then we think this is an imbecile. But if you would listen to that guy speak his own tongue, you would not understand what the fuck he's talking about, because he's so deep, but he doesn't have the vocabulary in English, and vice versa. This is a barrier that happens, and with practice. And I don't think that Aleksandr Dugin speaks English every day like I do, in order to get better, and find terms, listen to English-speaking people and say, oh, that's the right term for that notion or that concept, and so on. So I listened to this Dugin, I was like, but then I was thinking, wait a minute. I see that he's looking for the right words. He's live, the camera was rolling, so he had to say something. He's going to say, like I hear, what the hell is that word? I can't do that. The same. I pick the first kind of word or 2-3 synonyms that come into my mind, and I say, okay, I'm making a deal with myself. Okay, I'm going to use this one out of the 3. But I know that one that I picked is not even the one that I want to use. But I use it because I'm right here. I'm not going to stay here. Please wait for me until I get it out of me, right? Or I stop here and I go and try to find a synonym to this and get the right word and come back. Sometimes it could take 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I don't have time. So bear with me, and I think they identify one particular group that is really keen and destroying our values, our civilization. Why? Because they don't like it. They have an inferiority complex. You can see that in their writings. After all, if you look, why do you think Babylon and Egypt were so hated? Because they were civilizations, and they were what? Goat herders, illiterate. So, okay. All right, thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong. They didn't know about the Chinese. God did not tell them about the Chinese somehow. It escapes. Why? That tells you that is through divine inspiration. They have only if you look at the world, the area known to the Bible, given by the Old Testament in this case, given by divine inspiration, is just the walking distance of people and stories that you heard about others. It's very limited, very limited. All right, just study. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.